What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh 1.
I was going to wind it up a little bit more, but okay. But anyway, we're back at it, answering more questions from you guys in another installment of a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, the greater.
It was like a thing at the end or whatever, like echo.
Oh.
A backup singer type thing.
I thought it was like the beginning of El Grito Mexicano.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that. My voice cracks.
Mm.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you guys have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. I'm trying to get comfortable in this love couch because we're about to make love to you guys with our words. Our voices are going to go into your ears. Hopefully you're listening to us while you're or about to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, I'll lower my voice and be more ASMR-like.
It really gives a different meaning to the term earworm.
Yeah. It disturbed me to do that. So this question comes from Eternal Light. Why Eldar aren't using AI robots for fighting anymore? They never really did.
Yeah, the way that the Eldar evolved and basically went through technology. My stomach is coming out of my mouth. Excuse me.
It's all for the ASMR.
That is true. So yeah, the way that the Eldar evolved and progressed through technological things is because that they didn't rely on technology because of the psychic abilities that they had.
Yep.
Every Eldar is born with psychic powers, psychic abilities, and that really changes the way that a civilization goes through evolution.
Yeah, even the formation of their material to build different machines and stuff like that, it was a psychically sensitive material.
Right.
So there was another level to the way they interacted with their machines. Kind of like the Imperium is not allowed to make a straight up AI anymore. It has to have some organic feature, which is why you see servo skulls and what are the other things called? The little accompanying robot human
Servitors?
things. Not servitors. Well, yeah, but servitors and stuff like that. But yeah, getting back on track, like the technology, like you were saying, of the Eldar is just completely different. It's completely alien to us because, obviously none of us are psychers.
Yet,
yeah.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that to manifest.
And then another big part of this is also spirit stones. So within all of the Wraith Knights and stuff like that, I think that's what they're called,
Yeah,
right?
Wraith Knight, Wraith Lords, Wraith... I forgot what they're called. The littler ones. Wraith Guard.
There you go.
Wraith Guard.
They are controlled by the soul of a dead Eldar.
Yeah.
Inside the spirit stone. So that right there can turn a sane man bizarre. You know what I mean?
Yes. But no. But I mean, why would you need artificial intelligence when you can have a ghost piloting your robots?
Exactly. I guess they did then. I mean, that is immortality then.
A little bit, yeah.
That's going to be us one day. We're going to create some type of ETF that harnesses our minds, and it's incorruptible until quantum computing comes around. But even that's all science. Nothing that has to do with psychic.
Right. That's crazy, though. We're getting one step closer to being like a ghost in the shell.
Yeah.
With augmentation and
Big
transferring. Yeah. Because we don't have that nowadays.
No. At least not around me.
This next question is by Luis Magaña. How do you guys approach list/army building? One step at a time.
For me, because I'm an orc player, the most important thing for me is the clan thing. What is it called?
The tribe, the clan.
Yeah. But so Space Marines have the chapter, Eldar have the craft world.
Tau have seps.
Yeah, that's the most important thing because that's going to tell me, okay, I have to pick units that are close combat, shooting, or good. You have to form synergy from that. So that's how I approach my list building.
Right.
So then I find an HQ that buffs up the already awesome tribe, like army thing. So like for example, speed freaks they make them go faster, and they let you assault even though you ran. So what's gonna buff that? If I get a war trike that allows you to shoot and also run. So like it's that synergy that you create, and then obviously then you break it down and fill it with good units that can be buffed by that.
Right, which that's a very good way of starting. You come up with a plan, and then you make synergy with that plan, and you pick units based on that.
Yeah. I would recommend do it on like a love couch, because you really are making love with your army. That way when you're playing the game, you don't forget, oh, I forgot that I gave this character, like a +1 to his shooting. Because the love couch reminds you. You think about that moment.
It's like, oh, I was laying on my stomach when I picked that unit.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, my heels clicked when I saw that HQ. But yeah, the way I do it is a little bit different. I start with either picking like an HQ or a strong unit and then building off of that. So like, for example, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to play a Tau battlesuit commander that's on a Cold Star battlesuit, so he can move really fast and he's got fusion blasters. So this guy's meant to pick off vehicles that my opponent has kind of left out in the open, since he can move fast and pop things. So I've got a fast mover. Now I need something to screen, something to take objectives, and something to kind of draw out the opponent so that he can make mistakes.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking all this, and all this may not even happen in the game. So that's something that's fun, because it's like, oh, well, my HQ is going to do this. He gets, sniped to turn 1. And it's like, well, my plan has crumbled.
Yes. Crumble it does.
It's like, damn, I really should have made this on a love couch. Clicking my heels, laying on my belly, twirling my hair.
Laughing at your jokes that you're saying while you're building the list.
How do you guys make your lists? Do you guys check out what's the most meta army and then play that?
It never works.
It works. It's like, oh, Iron Hands were good. Salamanders were good. Technically mine are Ultramarines, but I'm playing them as Salamanders today.
Yeah. This question comes from Absolute Unit. Why don't Necron super weapons make it into the tabletop as miniatures or on the Forge World? I mean, a Canoptic Construct is pretty super weapony. And so are the little, like...
the sea weapon things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. But the real reason is because they're, like, earth-shattering stuff, and you can't really portray that when, you're on the planet that you're fighting. So, like, play Epic if you want to see those types of weapons.
Or go Apocalypse and bring in, like, Titans and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have the giant pie plates. That don't exist anymore.
This one's by Damian Henderson. Do you think that Belisarius Cawl will figure out how to recreate the Immortalis gland and create his own primarks?
It could be. That is a potential. If we ever get female Space Marines, he could create a primark with a gene seed, a female primark with new gene seed, and create new Space Marines.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing GW has in their back pocket, because for the longest time it was taboo to even tamper with like the genetics behind a Space Marine, because it's the Emperor did this. This is holy. This cannot be touched or altered in any way. To do that is to defy God or the Emperor.
And what did GW do?
Defied God.
Yeah, through Belisarius Cawl.
Yeah. And it's like Belisarius Cawl can be seen as like a savior for doing this, because I mean, look at all the good that the Primaris have done for the Imperium.
Oh, yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, this dude is like teetering on being a heretic.
Right.
He's created like many bodies. His real body is basically just a brain now.
Yep.
So it's like, at what point are we going to say, hey, like, there's rules and regulations that you've clearly been breaking for 10,000 years. Like, at what point is crossing towards chaos too far to help the Imperium?
Never. Or when Gilliman decides to say something.
Yeah, but they're bros though.
They are.
It's
Bros
like,
before hoes.
Gilliman's like, hey, you keep making these primaris and making new weapons and whatnot, and I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
And speaking of primaris and primarks, Damian Henderson asks, can a primark undergo the Rubicon process to become a primaris?
A what?
A primark? Can he become a primaris?
No, what would be the point of that?
Right. There's no need. Primarks have different psychology and, was it physiology? Yeah, that's the word.
Yep.
Than like a regular space marine. So there's no need for them to have like an extra heart, steel rib cages and stuff like that, because they don't have that space marine body. They're better than that.
Yeah, they have the gene seed of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like saying, why would a Primarch need Tims? Dude's been rocking the Black Forces for eons.
Exactly. One superior than the other. Which one is it? It's up to you to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one is by Pedro Revici. His little profile picture is like a thing of Vaselina.
Nice.
Classic. I was wondering how the Imperium would handle a serious situation that doesn't involve Chaos, the AI, or Xenos. So, for example, if there was a separate planets in a star system that were at war over political and or economical reasons. The Imperium has both factions in compliance, but after a few millennia, the old conflict has started up again. How would the Imperium handle such a situation?
If it's not Chaos and it's a Xenos, they're just going to destroy them, or no matter what.
Mm-hmm. But in this case, I think he's assuming, or he's implying that it's just both human civilizations. They both pay their tithes, but they're like at war with one another.
Kind of like I was saying in a previous episode, there's more autonomy than we think. The Imperium kind of puts hands off. As long as they're paying their tithes, those two planets can fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Imperium comes around and says, all right, pay me my money, if that war prevented them from paying that money, one of them is getting invaded.
Right.
So I guess, like, if you really wanted to be a dick, like if two planets were fighting against each other, just try to sabotage their tithe to the Imperium, because then they get mad. The Imperium gets mad, and then the Imperium sees them as like the rebellious ones.
Right. The other thing too, which could happen, is they could just get like invaded by like the High Lords. They'll send their own they'll send the Imperial Guard regiment to like quell the battle going on. They'll probably get rid of the planetary governors and reestablish new ones and do it that way. Because like, let's say if these two planets are very important, like there's like a pleasure world or like there's resources that the Imperium needs, yeah, they're gonna step in.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? Because I was just connecting it to like real world events here, and how like the U.S. usually tends to be like the Imperium or the High Lords of Terra, and like let's say if there was two Latin American countries fighting one another.
Yeah, they'll step in.
Yeah, but like they at what point I think would they step in? Because sometimes they just like do like slap in the wrist. Like Mexico has gone to war with, what is that? Honduras right there. And the Mexico or the U.S. just kind of looks at him like, yeah, don't do that. But then I was also thinking there's a kind of a war between Argentina and the U.K. and the U.S. didn't do anything. So, if you guys have insight on that, let me know.
It's all politics.
Next question.
All Might asks, do you guys feel that the Sisters of Silence should get a revamp with more models and maybe their own codex?
It would be nice to have their own codex, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it feels a little jarring. Like you're reading about the Adeptus Custodes and then it's like, Sisters of Silence.
Yeah. But then what other models would they have to add?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Like, you don't really see different units being talked about. It's just like, here's some sisters that don't speak and they're blanks.
Yeah. If anything, like, it would be an elite army just like the Adeptus Custodes.
Because I think currently there's only like 3 units. Regular squad, like an elite squad with like stronger weapons and better armor, and like a rhino.
Yeah. What they could do too is they could just do upgrade kits and have the Sisters of Battle units get the upgrade kit and then just make them, paint them different, I guess.
Yeah.
But then again, the aesthetic of the Sisters of Battle compared to the Sisters of Silence is different. Yeah. This question comes from the second. How many tech is in Space Marine power armor? Or how much tech is in Space Marine power armor? Could an AI, for example, hack into the Marine's armor and shut it off? No, not really.
Mm-mm. It's not like an Iron Man suit where it's mostly tech.
Right.
It's pretty much the opposite. It's like a suit of armor with a little bit of technology aiding the movements, the reflex time, the durability of it.
One of the craziest concepts for me is that like an Inquisitor who gets Space Marine armor or power armor needs to get augmented like crazy in order to operate it. Whereas the Space Marine can just jump in there with his black carapace and he's good. But like there is a level of just brute strength that you have to have in order just to pick up the armor, which is kind of cool.
And it's like, if you are needing that type of armor, it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That you need a Space Marine, like, durability.
Hardcore wanking it. Next question.
Nikoa asks, why do the Tau allow the Kroot to work as mercenaries for other factions? Is it possible that they may be using them to gather information about what happens outside of Tau-controlled space?
Could be it.
Yeah, I never really thought about that option, but yeah. The other thing, too, with the Tau is, like, they're not 100% controlling the actions of every civilization they control. It's like, yes, they use them, but they'll generally leave them alone as long as they pledge to the greater good and they agree to, like, help whenever they need it.
Yeah.
But besides that, like, they're left to their own devices.
Yep.
Yeah. So if they want to ally with the orcs or fight with the orcs, they could do that, too.
Which is why... if I was in the 40K universe, I think I would become a Tau. Like, I would become part of the Tau Empire, more so than the Imperium. There's just so much freedom.
Would you undergo body modification to look like a Tau?
No. I'd just be a Guevesa.
No split on your face?
No, I like my nose.
You wouldn't color it green and have the green screen and edit it out and all that?
No, too much work. Next question.
This one's by Theodore Thompson. The Thompson is all in caps. Is the beast who invaded with moons a WAAAGH?
Is he a WAAAGH? Yeah, it was a WAAAGH.
But yeah. The thing about, like, the beast is that... Was that just a title, or is that the name for all the huge black orcs?
No, I think that was just a title that he gave himself. But like all titles that orcs give each other, it's just like probably copying off somebody else. Because I think God School has called himself the Beast sometimes. Commissar Commissar Yarick has called him the Beast too. Shout out to Commissar Gamza, right? His terrain tutorials were fun.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. By me. Not me. You. Me. Will Fabius Bile ever cure himself of disease? Nah, because I think he's welcomed it. All these, like, concoctions and just weird toxins that he's created and injected into himself and others, like, he doesn't see that as disease. He sees that as improving upon the previous creature or thing or whatever it is. Yeah. He's a mad scientist. Like, he's so far gone that whatever he does, he doesn't see it as a blemish. Right. He's also full of himself too.
Arrogance.
Yeah. So that plays a little bit into it.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. This was fun.
Indeed.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, keep asking questions. If we didn't get to yours again, ask it in the next For the Greater Wall.
This is Gershwan,
the Sound Alchemist, and we are out.